Today I'm going to discuss some things just to be aware of while you're working with people who have a tendency to externally rotate at the femur and open up at the pelvis. So you'll notice these people when you sit down to do your health history. They sit like this. They usually kind of slump. Their legs are almost always open. They're totally turned out. When they're standing, same thing. Their comfortable standing position is going to be more like this. If you think about what that's doing to the sacrum in the back, it's compressing it. A lot of times they're butt grippers. And this isn't necessarily just people that are super tight. I've worked with people that have chronic low back pain that are actually hypermobile, that share a lot of these similar characteristics. So our goal is to get them to activate some of the muscles in the internal thigh and to get this sense of kind of spiraling in, to take some of that compression off of the sacrum. So the first thing I'm going to have you do, or your client do, is you're going to lie down. And it's really helpful to use something between their thighs so that they can kind of get a sense as to what you're talking about. I use a really lightweight yoga block. You can use a super lightweight medicine ball or a foam pillow or anything you have that's not very heavy. It'll go right between your knees. And then lie back. And with this, you want to imagine that the inner thighs are spiraling inward. So that's what's going to give you that sense that that sacrum is opening up. When you do that, I often also tell people to imagine there's a line right between their anterior superior iliac spines. So I have them feel where those two protuberances are, and then I imagine that they're drawing a line between the two of them. They're going to keep that line right there. And with the block between their thighs, inhale, lift a foot up. When they do that, they should feel their transverse abdominis engage. Exhale, lower it down. And with the breathing, you want the breathing to go all the way down to the pelvis. So inhale, lift up, keep everything really stable. Exhale, lower down. From here, if that's feeling pretty easy for them, or they're starting to get the hang of that, keeping that spiraling rotation of the thighs, you're going to lift the knees up. So the knees are right over the hips, you're going to dorsiflex the feet. Again, keep that spiraling rotation. If they've got this and they have the sense that those ASIS are resting right against a string and the string is gently pulling them together, you can actually remove the block. And from there, you can do a variety of different things. You can keep your hands up. You can use your exhale to lower the floor. Inhale to lift up, moving with the breath. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up. The key with all of this is that you've got that sense that these two bones are gently hugging together. Obviously, that's physically impossible, but if you've got that vision in your head, you'll start to be able to engage some of those deeper core muscles. In a standing position, again, remember, these are your people that want to squat like this. So to get them used to that sense of kind of drawing everything back to the midline, again, a block or something with a little bit of thickness to it is helpful. You place it between their thighs. And then sense, again, this motion with their inner thighs. So you've got the inner thighs activating to decompress the sacrum. Retrain the motor pattern a little bit. Have them sit down, arms across the chest, ribs drop down so they're not flared up. Use their inhale to stand up. And believe it or not, exhale to sit down. For people who have low back pain, this is going to be a completely foreign process and it's going to be really challenging for them. The other thing to work on with your clients that are prone to that position is when they're in a split stance, and you can do this a couple of different ways. If you start them in a half kneeling stance, and again, imagine these two bones, they're going to go here. So their torso will rotate this way, this thigh is going to rotate back, they're going to kind of spill out. You need to bring everything back to center. So imagine that string there, drawing those two bones together. From there, make sure this knee is pointing straight ahead. So you want co-contraction of the muscles in the hip to keep that hip stable. Most of the time, these are overdeveloped on these individuals that we're talking about. So it's going to feel to them like they're engaging their inner thigh a little bit. And again, really engage here. Get yourself nice and stable. You can do a variety of different pushes and pulls here, chops, whatever it is that you're working on. And then you can take it to a standing position. Same thing, ribs are drawing down. You're drawing in here. Usually once they do this, they'll tell you, oh my gosh, I totally feel my core engage. You're not actually cueing any muscular contraction there, you're just cueing position. And then again, work on push-pulls, presses, whatever it is that you're doing. All right, I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.